You're being recorded now. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Finn, man, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, no shit, brother. Congratulations on yesterday. Just the special came out in HBO.
Yeah, man. Finally.
Yeah. Perfect timing too. People have nowhere to go. Fucking
Yeah.
genius.
That's
Yeah.
why. You know what's funny, man? I'm still hearing people's excuses. You know how you tell people, "Hey, I got a show in town. Ah, I got something to do. I can't." People have their excuse now where it's like, "Ah, I don't got a password." I'm like, God, man, people will find an excuse not to watch us.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day. It was a comedian's post, and he was like, "E, sorry I couldn't make your virtual open mic. I just like I had to do laundry
Yeah,
and."
things came up.
Man, congratulations on that. I also saw your drive bar,
Oh
your
yeah,
drive
yeah,
bar
yeah. Yeah,
set.
happy with
That
that
was amazing
too.
too, man. You're just doing big things right now, Nick. I'm so proud of you, man. Really good
Oh,
to
man.
see, especially the Latino comic, just go up and up. You know.
Well, we got to trick them, bro. That's why I did the drive bar. You know, it's a bunch of Mormons, man. You're performing in Utah, so it's like, all right, let me trick them. They don't even know they're listening to a Latino right now.
Yeah, it'll be pretty hard for me to trick them. Actually,
Oh, you'll do fine, man.
it's because I'm brown.
Yeah, they'll be like, he's something. That's all they'll say. If you never mention it, they'll be trying to figure it out. He's something.
Let's just laugh at him.
Yeah.
What how is this whole thing affecting you, man? You got a bunch of halts on shows, cancellations.
Well, you know what, man? I already didn't have shows. Because the thing was, the idea was the special comes out, and as you're promoting it, that's when you reach out to clubs like, hey, I got a special coming out. Can I work your club? And then they give you a date. Well, obviously that couldn't happen this time because as the special's coming out, they're like, everybody's shutting down, close it, you know?
Oh, I
So
see.
that's the only thing that sucks about it's great to have something come out now, but it sucks because I can't use the jump off of it.
That's crazy how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, heat generates heat, man. That's how this business is, and it's like they need something to promote and anything, any little promote, you could be like, "Hey, I just reached 100 episodes of my podcast. Hey, I just had a million downloads." Hey, like they need that.
Oh, I see. I see how that works. And
Yeah.
before this, were you hitting the road a lot before you, or
Well,
did you take like a break before this special
we
that
were
came
doing
out?
the Entre Nos tour, the company that basically is doing all the Latino half hours on HBO. They
Hmm.
were putting a tour together with me and the other guys, and we were going around. And our last gig was Washington D.C. probably about 2 weeks ago, and that was what was leading up to. All right, now let's focus. I was supposed to have a gig in Reno this weekend, but yeah, man, it's all just moved. You're like, all right, we'll see what happens. You know?
Where in Reno was it? Was it Pioneer Underground
No, no, no,
thing?
Laugh Factory.
Oh, the Laugh Factory.
Dude,
Okay.
I did that once. The Pioneer Underground, man. If you can survive that room, you're a comic. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I actually had a lot of fun there. It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun when I went. Yeah.
Yeah, man. If you can work that room, you are a comic. There's no doubt about that. It's like that's what we train for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's those rooms where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go last. There's an intermission in between. There's all these comics, and all I got to do is just kill it and move on.
Yeah, I had never seen anything like that before. When I first showed up, I was like, "Wait, where's the theater? What? It's underground?" And then like you walk down, like it's like a subway thing, right? Like a subway station
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
And then there's a whole theater in there, a whole fucking
yeah.
theater. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Yeah, man. Wayne really figured it out down there, right? That's the guy's name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
I? What was it, Wayne?
Yeah, dude, it's interesting, man. I mean, when I did it, I had fun. It was a fun little weekend. But yeah, it was it put your comic abilities to work.
Did you do that Lex thing before that?
Oh, no, no, no. What Lex thing? No.
Okay, so when I went, they Wayne does like two shows. I think
Oh,
it's
no.
1 in the afternoon at this Lex nightclub thing, and then afterwards it's the Pioneer.
No, I didn't do that. No.
No, I guess it was a newer
I don't.
venture
Yeah, it
kind
was
of thing.
years ago. I still had long hair, so it was probably about 4 years ago or whatever.
Let's talk about that, Nick. What happened with the hair?
Dude, you gotta grow up someday, bro. Come on,
Is that
man.
what it was?
No,
I,
well, I've been thinking. You know what? Honestly, I was thinking about cutting it for a while, and there was because every choice we make, there should be a bunch of factors in it. Like this is why I do it, right?
yeah.
So I was headlining more. I am getting older. I was getting over having long hair. I was tired of it. And then I kept getting described as a t-shirt hoodie comic, but I was dressing up in suits. And I understood it's because people stereotype you. So the long hair in their head, it's automatically, oh, this guy's a slacker. He's a t-shirt hoodie guy, pothead. He's going to only talk about that. So I had to fight that, and I got tired of fighting it. I was like, you know what? I want to cut it anyway. Let me cut it. And when I did, the joke joint, the owner, uh, he told me, is like, when I saw your headshot, I didn't think you were gonna be a legit comic.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he said I didn't think you were gonna be funny. I thought you were gonna just be some slacker dude up there. And I was like, damn, I didn't know. And that's how you realize, like, sometimes they just look at your the way you look, and like, no, and that kind of
Yeah.
sucks. So it's like, fuck it, man. Let me get all of those obstacles out of the way and show them that I know what I'm doing.
Man, that's fucked up. That's fucked. But it's true. It's true. You do get stereotyped a lot, and you don't take people serious from by their appearance. That's crazy how that happened to you.
Yeah, well, man, you know what? Here's the thing, dude. It's built into our primal instinct. If you go back to us being cavemen, the first thing that you have to do to assess a threat is look at it. You gotta be like, is this a threat?
Yeah.
What is it? What am I afraid? And that we still do that.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is now. And now you add in the business side and the marketing side and the other comics I've dealt with side. That's the other thing. Managers, they've dealt with so many comedians that sometimes, yeah, they're like, I'm not gonna watch your set. I'll look at you and see like, oh, you remind me of so and so. It sucks. It does suck. You know.
Shit. Yeah.
But that's
And the
all.
suits. But now that you cut your hair, now that you cut your hair, do you still feel the need to wear a suit?
You know what? I was for a while, and then I decided I will only wear a suit when I'm headlining and if I feel like it. But I like it, man. It's a power move.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
man.
just feel like I'm already a wreck up there. I'm
Yeah.
already a nervous wreck. I still haven't done it. I've been doing it for 6 years only, right?
Yeah.
But still, every single time I have a minor panic attack right before I step on
Oh yeah,
stage.
me too, man.
Yeah. And that's never gone away. So I mean, with a suit, it's like, oh, I feel like I'll be like, I'm hot, I'm sweating. They know I'm sweating under here. They know it.
Well, okay, let me help you out with that then. I didn't start wearing a suit till about 11 years in, 10 years in.
Oh, okay.
So you're fine, man. Enjoy, just stay comfortable. But
Cool.
what like you can generate from what you wear on stage to the audience. It almost like what you wear could signal to them, hey, I'm the one that you're here to watch. I'm the one.
Oh, I see.
And it may be whatever you want to do, but it gives them that notice, because we fight a bunch of skeptics, in the audience. You might have, especially at 6 years, you probably have like 15 to 20% of the audience that's there to enjoy you because they know you, and then
Yeah.
you that other 80% who were told by that 20, come check this guy out, and in that 80% there's always a 10% that's like, oh, this guy thinks he's funny. So when you dress better than them in any way that you can, it signals like, yeah, I am the one that's funny. I'm the star of the show. You're not. And that's for the suit.
That's a big power move.
Powerful, man. Bro, do you ever, so when Jay-Z, after the Hard Knock Life tour, right, he went on tour by himself. And it was like the Black Album, where he was transitioning. So he started half of the concert because he's like, I want them to see me more as a classy businessman now. I want them to see me as a different act. So in the beginning of his concert, he he would come out, old school Jay-Z, do-rag, jersey, Jordans, rapping, whatever. Then they'd turn off the lights and he'd come out in a suit, and it was like a signal to the audience.
It was like
this is me now.
Yeah.
And then he started with like orchestras, wearing suits. He did that for a couple of years, and now he's in a different realm of
now he looks like a homeless guy.
Yeah. But you can do that when you're but when people know you're powerful, yeah, look like a homeless guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna see me with a leather suit next time I'm on stage. It's all leather, like Martin Lawrence and Red.
Well, then you'll really be sweating, bro.
Can you imagine like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? Martin Lawrence especially just wears all leather. Can you imagine all the swamping that's going on under there?
Bro, you have to. I would imagine after that show, you're taking that off and immediately jumping in a shower. You know what I'm saying?
You can shower with it. You can literally shower with it.
Yeah, man, just be done. I couldn't do that. That's too much. That's too uncomfortable.
So right now, are you because of the whole situation, are you self-quarantined?
Yeah, man, I'm just chilling out. I already was. This is no different than what I was doing before.
You're like, I've been doing this for 7 weeks before this happened.
Man, I'm fine, man. They're like, stay at home. Oh, okay. All right. Work on personal stuff. Okay, got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How is it over there though? Like, because here in Texas, it's there's a lot of things that are shutting down. Not in my city.
People are still fighting it in Texas, huh?
A little bit more in little cities. Like my city, they're like, no, we're gonna be fine. There's only 4. They don't understand the severity of the situation. So I personally took it among myself to start fear mongering, so people can listen.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was just told about someone I know who got it, and it's like, damn, okay. So yeah, it starts hitting. I don't mind the self-quarantine. I think because I'm already used to it, because comics, we already kind of live in our own head and live in our own place and space. So you should be prepared for being out of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
I prepared for that like crazy. I think what people are going through right now is that they are anxious because they're always doing something, And I was thinking about this the other day, man. Am I frozen? I don't know if I'm frozen or
not. No, you're good.
No.
It does that sometimes, but you're good.
I was thinking about this the other day. So the 40-hour work week was introduced in 1926. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in 1926, not even 100 years ago, we were told to start living a way that was not natural to us, to always stay busy. To now it's 9 to 5, go to work. You're going to work 5 days out of the week. We were told to live differently. And that's what introduced the need for fast food, the need for preservatives, the need for, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like it takes 1,000+ years for the human race to evolve to a new change. And I think this might be everything catching up to us. Like we're busy, we're running around, where it's like air quality went down, everything, because we're on the constant move. So people right now are freaking out because we've been in this business mode, and it's getting them antsy, and it's like, yo, calm down, because naturally you were never supposed to be busy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know if you've seen, like, a lot of comics are doing like online open mics and stuff like that. Like, they, like, is it? I mean, I love getting on stage too, but not so far to the point where I just want to say jokes to nobody. You know what I mean?
Man,
like,
I don't care at all about it. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah, I guess in that form, like I was talking about with another buddy, is like, I guess in some sense, comedy is addicting because some comics need that fix.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely. Yes, it does. Well, the people that have addiction problems, because addiction problems just doesn't mean like drugs and alcohol. Yeah. It means social media, getting likes, doing crazy stunts to get things going. Yeah, it's a fucking endorphin. It's like, okay, this is I need these likes. I need these laughs. I personally am fine. Like somebody asked me the other day, is like, "Are you getting antsy?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm fine. I don't care. I don't live for comedy. I do comedy, you know,
Yeah.
but I live as me."
No, that not a lot of. I haven't heard a lot of comics say that at all. You know, some people, oh, I love this. This is my passion. I love the comedy is my life. But what you said makes a little bit more sense. I gotta be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, man. I mean, it's good to have it as a passion. And saying it's my life, it's like, okay, look, I've been doing comedy professionally for like after a year and a half, I was out of a job. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to make
Mm-hmm.
this work. Uh, so it's been my life for since 2007. Like it's all just been stand up, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now at where I'm at, I'm like, it's okay to not always have to be on stage because and people ask me when I go to shows like you want to go up, I'm like I have nothing to say right now, and that's all I tell them. I'm like I don't have anything that I want to say, and when I want to say something I'll go on stage, but I'm not gonna just get up there and tell the same jokes just to get my laughs. No, I'll go up there when I have something to say.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that totally makes sense because I mean I haven't been doing it as long as you, but sometimes I don't hit the open mics because I have that same feeling like I don't have anything to say either. Like I haven't written anything down, no new ideas.
yeah,
If I do go, it's because I feel like I'm still sharpening something up
yeah,
that's not quite ready yet. So that's
yeah,
the only reason I'll go. But if I don't have anything new, I don't. Sometimes I'll just we only have one open mic, two open mics here in
yeah.
my city, so they're very rare here. You know what I mean? But I don't go sometimes because I just don't have anything to say, like you say as well. You know?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I'll give you something. This is what I do. So I'll write jokes that that don't necessarily they'll never fit in my set, right? But it's just something I want to say for the hell of it, and that's when what I go to mics for. Like it's not something that I'm working on. It's just like like I'm trying to think of this one bit where I'm like, all I wrote down was Jennifer Aniston is the Michael Jordan of white women. That's and I'll go off on a rant on that and play with it, and then I'll never do it again.
So it's kind of like you're doing just basically reps.
Yeah,
It's like you're
doing
staying in
reps.
the gym just to stay loose and just get that exercise, I guess you could say, in a
Yeah,
sense.
dude. And then you know how I get off stage when I do this? I look at my notes and I'm like, did I do everything? Oh, okay, that's enough. All right, bye, and I just leave.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
it. When you focus so much on it needs to be a power performance each time, you're sharpening one side of the blade. We also
Mm.
have to focus on the sometimes I just need to learn when to leave, when to exit. Sometimes I just need to let an idea float and let it be there, get it out of my head, and then move on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
that'll make
lot.
you sharper than anything.
Yeah, but you think you realize that obviously with so many years that you've been doing this, you think that's where all of this comes from? Because I'm pretty sure new comics don't understand this concept yet, and they just want people to laugh. They just want their performances to be based on just I need to laugh, and they're so hard on them. So now, like when I bomb, and well, when I bomb, it's like really it's not hurtful anymore. You know what
No,
I
man.
mean? But there's some people that I've seen it. I've seen it. Some people that really newer comics that really get down on themselves and start second thinking themselves and
Yeah.
whatnot. But basically, what you do, that's just coming from all the years that you've been doing it.
Yes.
Like you learned how to sharpen the other side of the blade but newer comics don't even know how to hold the blade yet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. They got one good move.
they got a pocket
Uh,
knife. They got a
that's
pocket
it,
knife.
man. What I would say to them is, okay, so with newer comics, the idea when you're starting out is the let's think of it as skill points. You're not going to be brilliantly funny when you first start, right? So what you need to gain points in is confidence in yourself. So that's what we do in the first 2 years. We're not really that funny, but we're gaining confidence on being on stage. Okay, people are laughing. I know how to handle this crowd. And then as you gain that confidence, then the funny starts catching up. And then eventually, you have so much confidence and you're funny that you're just like, now I'll just say whatever because I know how to be funny and I know I can make this funny. And if it doesn't
Yeah.
work, it doesn't bother me.
Those two things
So,
kind of root in together.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell people, I'm like, what you need to do first is always write, of course, always try to sharpen your mind with writing, but give yourself all the tricks on how to work a crowd so that you gain the confidence, And then when you gain the confidence of being up there, all of a sudden clubs are like, man, this guy's confident. Let's give him some more time. And now you got to fill that time. See, we're never actually ready for the time that we're filling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you should never be ready for it. You're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this 45 minutes again because I want to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you train yourself to only do the same set and to sharpen the same blade and I need to get the laugh, and you're not training yourself in the confidence and the stretching and the getting out of your comfort, well, then you're going to stay stagnant. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, all of it, are just so valid, and not you don't hear that a lot. You don't hear the insight of an experienced comic. You know what I mean? So I've seen your act, man. I'm absolutely a big fan. You're very animated on stage. For the most part, you're very animated on stage. Have you ever thought about doing any kind of like acting or anything?
Well, of course, man, but yo, but it ain't on me, man. Well, look, I've been going to auditions and things like that. I like to do it. The problem is that when you're a stand-up comic, all right, so stand-up comics, we're told we have to be 100% of who we are on stage. That's when a stand-up comic is the best, when he's 100% who he is. When an actor's his best is when he can take on any character 100%. He can get out of himself 100%. That's when an actor's his best. Now, there's some actors that are only just doing different versions of them, but they don't win Oscars. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you've ever watched like a major actor's like interviews, they're boring because they can't be themselves. They're good at being what you tell them to be.
Oh, I see.
So here I am, a comic who knows 100% who I am. I go into these auditions against actors who have been sharpening their acting blade. They're doing plays. They're doing everything. They're going to fucking sketch groups and they're doing that. So they've been sharpening since high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to compete with them for the same role. It's like if they got on stage after me doing stand up, And so that's what happens with acting. It just becomes that. The other problem is that since I am Latino, that's mostly what people think they need to send me on, or people only offer me those roles. And I'm not the Latino they write. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood still doesn't understand. They don't understand, especially Mexicans. They don't understand Mexicans enough to get that there's all different kinds.
Yeah.
They only write either the LA Cholo or the LA Gardener. That's all they write. And you see that constantly in movies, because they don't see anything else because they're here in Hollywood. They don't know the Texas Mexican. They don't know the Chicago Mexican. They don't know. So it's like we have to retrain them. And I'm hoping that in the next few years, with all these specials that are being released, whether it's me or Eric Rivera, Orlando, or whatever, it shows this different Latino that they can and not be afraid of. Like I shared on my Instagram, oh, here my special's coming out. It says HBO Latino, and there's people questioning like, oh man, it's in Spanish. I'm like, no, it's not. It's in English.
Yeah.
But people don't get that. General audiences don't get that about us yet. It's coming, but they don't get it.
Dude, you want to know something that's crazy about what you just said right there? So I just not too long ago I finished talking to Mike Robles. I don't know if you know who Mike Robles is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was talking about the Que Locos back in the day and the local comedy jam and stuff like that. And he was saying, I asked him, I was like, why did it come into a screeching halt like out of nowhere? And I told him that I was like 9 years old, and I remember my parents would tune in every Friday to watch these stand-up comics. And I at the time, I just thought it was funny. Knew nothing about stand-up. I just liked watching it. And I asked them like, what caused it to be a screeching halt? And he said that Galavisión at the time said, you know what, we're a Spanish-speaking network and we want to keep it Spanish. So that's basically what happened with Galavisión, and that's how it got canceled.
Well, it's the whole idea of this. So that's the problem with Spanish or with Latino stand-up, is that especially with Mike Robles, man, he was coming from the time where there was still the generation that only spoke Spanish, and we're fighting it with the generation that only speaks English. And they don't often share the same shows. Like when I was on Mundos, when I did Pitbull's La Esquina, I wrote for that, right? But because Mundos is so heavily Spanish, it didn't hit. And it's because the people that are tuning in for only Spanish don't want to see anything in English. And the people that want to see their shit in English don't even want a hint of Spanish. Like the minute that a Spanish commercial comes on, English-speaking Latinos switch. They're like, I'm good. And that's why, wrestling's the only thing that Latinos can agree on.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. That's what he said that it got replaced with. Just like Mexican wrestling and all this stuff. He said it's basically what they do to Mexicans. Well, I said that. Well, it's basically what they do to Mexicans. They got rid of the comedy thing, and they just brought more cheap labor in to fill in those ratings and stuff like that. That's exactly what happened. They brought in cheap labor to fill in some spots. But what I'm trying to say here is like how ironic it's reversed. Back then it was like, no, we're a Spanish speaking station, we're gonna speak Spanish. And now HBO Latino, we're like, all right, it's Latino, but it's actually gonna be in English.
Luckily, man, thank God they're doing that, And I give a lot of credit to the guy that put this series together, Edwin Lincona and his people, because they are the ones that snuck it in that way. They are pushing it that way. The HBO Latino department,
they got over the wall that way.
Basically, man, they're really so HBO Latino is obviously a different office from HBO. They're in the same building, different offices. That's just how it works. In any program, MTV has an office. MTV Tres is nearby, but it's not in that office. You know what I'm saying?
Segregation. Okay.
Yeah. So HBO Latino is trying hard to convince HBO that they're worth it, And so now that's why they're starting with this original programming, putting out these specials, because they're trying to fight the good fight and say, you see, there's something here. Give us more attention. Give us more of a budget. Let us start doing shows. Stop requiring it to be just Spanish-speaking movies from the past. And that's the fight that they're fighting right now. So that's why we're hoping people tune in, because it's like, if they can win that fight, well, that's better for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of a sudden, programs are greenlit on HBO Latino that weren't getting greenlit on fucking HBO, but at least we have a chance.
Yeah, and with that being said, do you think, well, with this, I guess kind of momentum, do you think something like Get Locos or Comedy Jam would come back to the networks, like, variety comics, like where it's like maybe five comics in each series?
Yeah, no, I heard you say, do I think it's going to come back? I think it's a good chance for it, man. I think it's a good chance. I think whoever's going to do it is going to have to realize that you can't call it Que Locos, That's the switch. Like my buddy Eric Rivera does the Laugh Factory show Brownish. It's got to be something like that. We've got to signify to the English speaking audiences that yes, these are people of ethnic descent. These are Mexicans, these are Hispanics, these are Latinos, but don't be afraid to enjoy it based on it saying gay locos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike hit it hard when at the perfect time for that. Now it's a time where it's like we have to transition it to where it's still apparent that it's Latino, but it's better packaged.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
and it's one of those things that, you know, people might say like, well, that's not showing pride. Well, it is. You know, we have to play in the market. We have to play in the game. And if we can convince them to let us play in that game, well, we'll have more chances. Like, I'll tell you when I think it started switching in the industry. Coco. The minute that Disney put out a very Mexican movie,
Hmm.
that's when it signaled to the industry, this is the audience that's making money. Trust me, man. They're watching our demographics. They're seeing who goes to the theaters. They're seeing who tunes in. And the truth is, Mexican families go to fucking movie theaters. You know, they go, and fucking Disney saw that and said, all right, you know what? Coco and Cars, we're going to have a Mexican lead and this and that. And they're slowly introducing it. Now, I will say this. Disney messed up by putting a half-hour Frozen short in front of Coco initially,
Yeah.
because they're afraid, man. That's the fear of like, let's put in, you know what? I want to give them Coco, but let's put in Frozen just for the audience that may have accidentally saw this. And what happened? People protested and said, we want to see Coco, not Frozen, and they took away the short and they let it just exist. And
Yeah.
that's how it has to be. You know?
Wow.
We're
Yeah.
gonna keep fighting those barriers, but understand that it's like the more that we do to sneak it in, the more that we do to put it in front of their face where they're not so scared to try it out, the better it will be for us. You know?
Yeah. 100%.
So
I hate that term that we sneak it in. But I mean, I that's how
dude,
you shoot your shot, right? I mean,
the only reason I know about hip hop is because of MC Hammer. If it
yeah.
wasn't for MC Hammer, we wouldn't be listening to hip hop on pop stations. If it wasn't for Will Smith, we wouldn't have hip hop. Dude, from the Rio Grande Valley, they didn't play fucking hip hop. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Until getting jiggy with it. So it's that sneaking in. Like, if it wasn't for MC Hammer, if it wasn't for Vanilla Ice, if it wasn't for fucking Will Smith, I would never have gotten to know Wu Tang, Tech Nine, Eminem, Dr. Dre. You know, and
They
that
were your gateway. They were your
they're
gateway
my
drug
gateway.
to the other drugs.
Yeah, man, and that really is how it is. Look at fucking Run DMC. The hit that broke it was their remix of Aerosmith's
Yeah.
Walk This Way. And they
Yeah.
knew it. They said, this is going to put us on a new level. They snuck it in. They're like, all right, man, we're going to get this white audience.
And let me ask you, with this whole situation, they go totally changing the topic. Is it a little eerie, like knowing that all the comedy clubs are closed and stuff like that over there? You're in LA, right? Or
Yeah.
you're in LA. Is it I don't know, is it like just weird knowing that all the comedy clubs and stuff are closed?
No. You know, man, we had a big boost in people trying comedy out. Maybe this will get a lot of those people to leave.
It's
You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since the big digital comedy bang, everyone wanted to start doing comedy. I mean, you started seeing open mics filled with 40, 50, 80 people. You know,
wow.
maybe this will chill it out. Is it eerie?
Reset everything.
Yeah, is it eerie? Maybe a little bit, but not really. It hasn't hit me yet. You know, but that's
Mm.
also because I'm fine. I read this book called Survivors, right? I think
Uh-huh.
that's called. And they said the people that survive the best in any drastic situation are the people that are just even keeled. They have no high hopes. They have no depression. They just stay calm. The people that high hope die the quickest, because high hopes takes a lot of energy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? To go
Yeah.
high, you're gonna have that dip, and then you have to convince yourself to go high. It's best to just stay even, man. Ride the wave. It's fine. We're gonna
Yeah, it's
be
hard for me to do, not to mention it, because I do that a lot. I have a lot of high hopes, and I constantly pressure I get I stress myself out. I'm the
yeah,
one that does it most than anyone.
yeah. Dude, don't stress yourself out, man. Just chill out and realize that it's okay to not have an emotion for something. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
it's okay to be like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And the more that you're there, the more you will de-stress and the better you'll be able to handle these situations. And you'll walk through life with that. You're like, it's fine. That's why sets don't bother me, you know? Because
Yeah.
I'm just
You
like
just described a serial killer, but that's fine.
the sociopaths. Well, yeah, they're intense.
You're originally from the Valley, right? You had mentioned McAllen,
Yeah.
and you started doing comedy there
No, I started in Dallas.
in
They didn't have no comedy
Dallas.
down in McAllen when I started.
Oh yeah, in
I think it was a
Dallas.
few years later that they started doing comedy down there.
And then from Dallas, you like fuck it, you just went to California.
From Dallas, I went on the road. I met a headliner who took me out on the road, and then I slowly started going out to California. And it's kind of like this, man. Like you're invited to a coast at a certain point in your career. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
invite isn't like, here's an invite. It's not like a UP. There's just a project, a person that believes in you, somebody that says, hey, I need you out here, or can you come out here? And if you say yes to that invite, then you have accepted that door. Now it's your job to just keep dipping your toe, right? So when I came out to Cali, it was like a quarter into California, a quarter of my time was in California, three-fourths was in Texas. Then
Mm-hmm.
then the next year was half of my time's in California, half of it is in Texas. Then the next year was like three-fourths of my time's in California, fourth of it is in Texas. And then there was one year where I was like, I'm not gonna go to Texas for a year. And I just challenged myself not to do it. And now it's like now I can go wherever I want and spend time wherever I want.
But I feel like that's the way things should be done. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it seems like it's a smart transition the way
yeah,
you did it.
dude. You gotta work yourself into it. Hold on, let me tell my friend. Because I was supposed to do a Skype interview at 4 p.m. I
Huh?
was supposed to do a Skype interview at 4 p.m. with my other buddy.
Oh, were you okay? Yeah, we're about wrapping it up here.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, man, it's that whole thing of like, don't be so afraid of the movement. Don't be so afraid of yourself on stage. Don't be gain your confidence in yourself, and you'll see you'll handle it better. You're doing a great job because the one thing that I didn't do that I wish I would have done was create a base in Dallas, create a base in my hometown so I could go do a show there and have it sold out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I without creating that base. You have your base. Now you're able to do whatever you want because you have your base. You know?
yeah.
So you're
Never really thought like that.
dude, you have a base. And that's hard to get. And that base, thank them, always be good to them, because that base is what's going to help you stay afloat when you go out anywhere else. You know?
Yeah,
And just keep challenging them comedy wise, keep challenging that base to absorb different comedy, to take you in different things, and then all of a sudden that's your fucking base where you can go nuts and be crazy and have fun and kill it. And then when you
yeah.
go do Reno, go do cruise ships, go do dry bar, go do Tonight Show, go do whatever you do, you still have that base that supports you, and they
Hell
prepare
yeah.
for all those opportunities, you know.
Hell yeah, brother. I know that. Dude, thank you for that, by the way. Do you have any upcoming projects that you might want to push your podcast? I know you have a thing
True
with
scary stories with Edie podcast.
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, I'll put up all the links on the YouTube and also on this video.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, you got? I'm on that group, but my whole life, 35 years of existence, never once experienced anything supernatural. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for me. But I enjoy what the people put up on that page.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's interesting. And then, like it's once we started getting more into the stories, it's like, okay, you know, you question life a lot. Yeah, I'll just say that.
So, anything else?
Nah, man, I'm just plugging that special, man. I think if I hope people stream it, I hope they enjoy it, and I hope they share it with other people. I hope it
Yeah,
becomes like an underground mixtape, man.
yeah, but not underground.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Wait, but thank you for taking the time, man, to talk to me, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man.
No problem, brother. We'll talk
Uh,
again later.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I promise you, I won't make the move to LA like everyone else does.
Do it when you got to, man.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
buddy. Well, you stay safe, all right? Don't hang up yet. I'm just gonna start recording, but.
Okay, okay, cool.